Hello, I'm Barry Pronk and I'm glad that you can join me for this edition of Store Brands USA. Today we take our hat off to one of England's most famous schools, Eton. As a chef and teacher, I'm always on the lookout for interesting recipes, and today's recipe will make you smile. It's called Eton mess, and like all the recipes you find on Store Brands USA, this recipe is made with store brands so you can enjoy quality and taste and savings at the checkout. Eton mess is believed to have originated in 1893 and it's served at the annual cricket match against Harrow, their arch-rival. Eton mess, that's what it's called, was served either with bananas or strawberries, and as faculty and students ate it, the messier it became. Thus, Eton mess. Regardless of its derivation, here are the ingredients. Here we go. So for the Eton mess, I'm going to start with the meringue. First, I'm going to make sure that the bowl is absolutely fat-free. So I'm going to clean it with half a lemon. You're going to make sure that all the fat will disappear from the bowl. As soon as there's even a bit of fat in the bowl, your egg whites won't work. They won't get fluffy and you can't use it. And then we're going to use egg whites, 1/3 of a cup, and half a cup of sugar. And I'm not going to add it all at once. First, I'm going to start by whisking a bit and then add the rest of the sugar during the whipping. So now I'm going to add another part of the sugar and I'm going to mix again until it's really stiff and fluffy. And now we're going to add the powdered sugar, but we're going to scoop it because when we mix it, we lose all the air, and gently fold it in because we have to use all the sugar, but we don't want to lose the fluffiness. And you can make this recipe one day before or even 2 or 3 days before, as long as you keep them dry in a closed box or bag so they won't get any liquid in it or humidity. They have to stay really dry after you bake them. So now we're going to pipe the egg whites, the meringue. If you don't have a real piping bag, just use a storage bag or a good plastic bag. And then we're going to bake the meringue after piping them. But in fact, it's not really baking because temperature is so low, it's 200 degrees. It's more drying. So it really doesn't matter after 1 or 1.5 hour drying. You can turn the oven off and leave it overnight in the oven to be sure it's really dry and good to use for the next day. And then I'm going to pipe small dots. And for this recipe, really it doesn't matter if you make large ones or small ones, because we're going to crack them up when we serve the dish. Just make sure that they are dry, nice and white. So when you turn up your oven above 200 degrees, they will turn light brown. And that's not what we want. We want to have them as white as possible. So now we're going to bake them. We're going to bake them at 200 degrees, 1.5 hours in the oven. And when you think they're done, just leave them in the oven, turn the oven off and leave them there overnight. So they can never be too dry and you can use them the day after. Now we're going to whip the cream. 1.5 cup of cream, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Not too much sugar because the meringues are very sweet. And when you're using frozen berries, take them out 1 hour before you serve the Eton mess. And then we're going to whip it until stiff. So now we're going to finish the Eton mess by scooping the defrosted fruit, or fresh if you prefer. Make sure that everyone's got a strawberry and everyone's got a raspberry, like this. Then on top we're going to scoop the whipped cream. As the name already tells, it doesn't have to look really pretty because it's an Eton mess. And on top we're going to crumble the meringues. How much you want is up to you. And some people prefer to give it a swirl to make a little marble effect. So, Eton mess. Enjoy!
This recipe serves 8 people and costs 82 cents per serving.